My hope for August was to deep dive into a JRPG, and while I'm about to be able to do that soon, August actually was mostly a month of dipping my toes into things, although that meant discovering things I may not have known I loved and also what I don't. I was pleasantly surprised by a pink-tinged game with a retro feel that showed me that good dialogue and gameplay can go beyond my usual tastes, followed by some fun in Akiba, and also a look into a game I was looking forward to but showed me that you can't be excited by everything. Overall, it was a good month of discovery that has me looking forward to diving into things even more, so let's get into the JRPGs I played in August. My biggest surprise for August was how much I loved Rhapsody Marl Kingdom Chronicles, a game I was a little apprehensive about last month, but I'm so glad I tried in the end. It really lived up to how its trailers made it look, with its bright pixel-colored world, incredibly charming characters, and battles that made me fall in love with it instantly. While writing this, I bought the first one because I want to dedicate myself to finishing this series, as I found all of its musical numbers and antics of its little princess a lot of fun, and I've heard they're not the largest games to play, so I slightly ambitiously hope I can get to it just to honor how much I loved being charmed by something new. For how quickly I fell in love with it, I think it has the potential to be a favorite from this year, so I'll be doing my best to get to them again sooner rather than later and see these musical games that pass the test of time through to the end. I have a first impressions video up that goes into a bit more detail on my feelings on 2 and 3 if anyone's interested, and I was really pleased to see that these games seem to be well loved by everyone who's tried them in my comments section, so that encourages me to try and get to them soon too. I hope this isn't the last time I talk about Rhapsody this year, as I'm really happy with how this charming and pink-speckled JRPG got me into it so quickly, and I hope to get to know it much more very soon. Monochrome Mobius was one of the games I was really excited to receive in August, as I've been wanting to try it since its first trailer and spent a long time being salty that it was only released on PC in the West. NIS will be bringing it to PS4 and PS5 on September 5th, which is why I'm able to talk about it today, although I have to be honest that unfortunately, it didn't totally live up to my expectations in its first couple of hours. On the positive side, it's very smooth and pretty to look at and run around in, and I found the ring system and its turn-based battles interesting as you try to get yourself on its innermost ring that allows you to go faster thanks to its small size. But unlike something like Rhapsody or the other new release I covered this month, there wasn't anything that immediately excited me about it like I'd hoped. Everything was pretty enough, and there's definitely a story in there for those looking, but I didn't get the same pull from it like I was hoping, which is a bit of a shame. It's in my collection now, so I can keep it in mind for another time, and since it was enjoyable enough to run around in, it might not be bad for a rainy day, but it's not what I'm looking to have as my main game right now, especially as all our backlogs keep growing. I'd be curious to hear your opinions if you guys play it, and do remember, if you're willing to brave the Japanese PSN and Japanese in general, there is a Japanese demo for the console version that I actually enjoyed my short time with in November last year, although I didn't play it in full, so if you can, I'd recommend playing that through and then making your decision on this game, but I still have hope that there's more worth seeing in its future chapters, and if so, I'll have to return to it someday. My smaller experiences this month saw me just stick to my consoles for once, at least until they put Hinako in Blue Reflection Sun a few days ago. But mostly, Atelier Remake was still on rotation as a fun thing to jump into, and I did a first impressions video on another game that took up my free time this month outside of making videos. The first game I made impressions on this month was Akiba's Trip, an experience I was happy to come back to with new eyes that have laid themselves on the real Akihabara that allow me to appreciate a new side of this game. I really enjoyed feeling like it was a time capsule of Akihabara of 2013, which is very similar to how I first saw it pre-pandemic, so just running around in a nostalgic version of the city was something I'll always appreciate this game for. It had more success pulling me in largely thanks to its humor, which may just be what I'm in the mood for right now looking at what I've been into this month, and I'm curious to see where its humorous take on vampires and sunlight will go, and while I know it won't be a Game of the Year contender as that's starting to creep up, it is a bit of fun I'm glad to have in my collection. And when I wasn't making videos and was just playing things for fun, Atelier Remake was the JRPG that called for me again, with the fact I'm so close to maxing out all I can do in my current playthrough being good motivation for me to stick with it, and its unlimited mode making it simple enough to jump in without fear of making mistakes. I've gotten myself to the point in it where I'm really just towering to get Shreya's level up and do some friendship leveling to trigger certain events, so that means I can jump in whenever to do a little grinding. A lot of this is thanks thanks to the Atelier light feeling of this and how easy it is to pick up, do a little in, and put down that makes me feel like I just might be able to complete every bit of it someday. After making this video, my September will begin as I get into one of its releases, and if this month wasn't busy enough with all the things I played, things show no sign of slowing down as I put down August releases to get into the many things that will come next. If August had the potential to be busy, September has even more so, with multiple big things I'm looking forward to coming out and a fair few other things to be swayed by, both including bigger console releases and smartphone games. That means I have the option of focusing or playing a lot of things next month. I'm personally still looking to satisfy my want of playing a big JRPG in full right now, so the most attractive thing on offer for me in September is probably Rune Factory 3 Special and Nayuta Boundless Trails. Since I have a code at the moment, it's looking like I might have to skip Rune Factory 3 at release, which makes me sadder more than anyone else, but it's just how timing goes some days, and I know I'll get to it in the future. I should be able to get to Nayuta though, which I've loved the look of when I tried it in Japanese a year ago, and I like that I can play it and not have shame for not having played half the series, as it's a standalone story, so I'm very much looking forward to getting to that and hopefully having a more successful dive into that Trails game, as the others I've gotten to this year only partway through stare at me. But it is a busy year for the series, so I'm sure I'm not the only one falling behind. As for everything else, there's a lot of things big and small I would ideally check out if I had infinite time. There's a Baten Kaitos remaster coming up, and Mugen Souls and Mary Skelter are finding their way to other systems, there's a Fate game that I nearly missed, and even the smartphone space has some appeal with Final Fantasy Ever Crisis and a NieR collab for Nikke, a game I've always liked the art of, and with those on top of the ever-growing backlog, it's more likely I'll stay away from them at this rate, as I find the end of the year really is creeping up, and I find myself thinking about what I'd like to have finished by the end of it when timing doesn't work out for things. But the most important thing is to have fun, and that's what I'm gonna do my best to keep in mind going forward, so I hope everyone's September is full of things they want to play too, whether they're new, old, big, or small, as we try to make the most of our time and the many things that we can play this year. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played last month and what you plan to play this month. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!